Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we literally talk, and here, the Rakata computer over here is talking about me being a Raven and all that sort of stuff, and he speaks in that language, the language of the Rakata, apparently. So, there's a lot of things that we can learn, and we're gonna learn them all. Let's see, I'm looking for genetic data on the Rakata. Oh, my storage banks contain significant quantities of information on this subject, compiled through hundreds of years of research and study. Please wait while I load the information onto a data pad for your future reference. Okay. Well, in that case, let me read the data pad. It's not like that. You don't just... Why don't you tell... What? Seriously, there's no downside to him telling me that. I guess I need the data pad, maybe. You know, because he's not voice acted. That's why I was saying there's no downside to him telling me that. But yeah, if we need this for something, and I think we do, this data pad contains. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was gonna be. The guy that wants, instead of having the one be his subject, I guess, or you know, just study subject, he's gonna get a data pad. That sounds good. Tell me about the Star Forge. The Star Forge was constructed during the apex of the Infinite Empire's power, a true technological marvel. It is an enormous space station that serves as both factory and battle dreadnought. The Star Forge can mass-produce immense fleets with a minimum of time and resources. In addition, the Star Forge also shares much of the same technology used in my own construction. In many ways, the Star Forge is like a living entity. It feeds, it hungers, it draws on the energy flowing through all living things. What you called the Force the last time you were here. The ability to feed and consume the living energy of the Force is the key to the Star Forge's power, but ultimately it was also what led to the destruction of the Infinite Empire, because of course you could see that coming. Of course you could. If it's gonna eat the Force. Due to my system's ability to monitor and repair themselves, you'll find all the data of my archives in full... Oh, it goes back to that. I thought I was just bypassing his dialogue and I clicked by mistake. Let's go back there. What do you mean? What does he mean? The Rakata are by nature a cruel and savage species. The Starforge fueled itself with the hatred inherent in its own creators, and in doing so it accentuated these traits within the builders. In your terminology, the Starforge is a tool of the dark side. It corrupts those who use it so that it can generate greater and greater amounts of negative energy to fuel itself. The builders thought that they were strong enough to control this effect, but they were wrong. They became They became victims of their own creation, and eventually their hatred turned them against each other. Civil war destroyed the Infinite Empire. A lesson to remember. Only one who is immensely strong in mind and will can harness the power of the Starforge without suffering a similar fate. Maybe I could do that. Actually, I don't think I can. I don't know. I'm not sure what end. I thought there were only 3 endings for this. Oh, maybe that's what it is. The center ending, like the gray ending. I think there are 3 endings to this game, but there are only 2 main quests at the end. One for dark side and one for light side. And you always fall on the light side. I think that's how it goes. You always fall on the light side if you go for gray. Most likely because of Jolie, I guess. But it's been many years since I played this game, so this is what I'm saying is my recollection of it, not necessarily what the game is. Let's see. So how can I shut off the Disruptor Field around this planet? The Disruptor Field was constructed as the Starforge's primary defense against enemy attack, and can only be deactivated from the upper levels of the temple. Okay. My systems control the doors to the upper levels, allowing only those who are worthy of the Rakata legacy to pass. The last time you were here, Revan, I unsealed the doors for you. However, the subtle neurological changes I detected in you earlier likely caused a failure in the recognition system that would have opened the doors for you. Oh, okay, makes sense, yeah. I have updated my database to recognize the new configurations in your mind, Revan. The doors to the upper level will once again open for you. This is just a very wishy-washy way of explaining that I have changed my mind about things. Insofar as things can be detected by a computer, or anything really, not even a computer, as even a dissection, changes of stances and opinions and beliefs and memories don't actually get translated into the brain like this. It's not like, I mean, other things get translated into the brain, like what you eat. So yeah. Oh, you've eaten. I see you eat a lot of kale. Let me change the computer, otherwise the door won't open. And that's very good. But anyway, of course, this is what I said. What I said at the beginning. It's wishy-washy, but you know, it's fantasy. It's meant to be. It's meant to be an explanation at least, which is really good. One thing you might have noticed that I said okay, where there was a line of just, you know, a leading line so that the computer would continue saying things. I was reading that and I was thinking about how this game evolved to. I'm not sure if Jade Empire is the same as Mass Effect, but specifically Mass Effect, the way the conversations work in Mass Effect. It's a lot more. You pick one line and your character kind of says more. It's like The Witcher, as far as I remember. Anyway, you choose one option in the dialogue, and then your character will get a little bit of a back and forth with the NPC. And I think that's better than what they do in this game, because it's very obvious in some of the lines, not all of the lines, but some of the lines. It's very obvious that your character is, or that the options that you're given are just really not even options. They're just the continuation. They're sort of a push for the NPC, which was the case in that occasion. And I like it better. I like it better the way they do it in Mass Effect. Of course, there's downsides to that as well, which is the fact that you can't make up certain things that your character would do. Like, imagine my character speaks in a very gruff voice and just talks to everybody like this, as if he's Batman. That's right. I was thinking of who says that. of who the superhero was that has a voice like this, because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I'm so good with superheroes. I even call them supervillains. That's how good I am. Let's see. How can I get to the... No. Do you know anything about the star maps? Oh, yeah. The star maps were built on conquered worlds as a symbol of Rakatan dominance and glory. Each map showed the whole expanse of the Infinite Empire, with the Starforge at the center. When the Empire fell, the Rakata fled back here to their homeworld. They sabotaged the star maps so the enslaved species could not use them to discover the Starforge on this planet. Yeah, but that kind of didn't work, did it? The star maps were created with the same technology as my own self-sufficient systems. Over the millennia, the maps have been slowly rebuilding and repairing themselves. As you informed me during your last visit to this world, the star maps are still in a damaged and incomplete state. It is not possible to locate the Starforge using a single map. However, the star maps have repaired themselves to the extent that it is possible to discover the Starforge's location by combining the bits of data from several of the maps, as you did. Yep, that is a very, very good explanation. Very, very awesome, actually. And I think more than anything, really centers the whole strategy of Revan, and now, of course, the whole strategy of Malak, I'm gonna, is gonna rebuild this ancient empire of death and dark-sidedness. And, yeah, Revan, I don't know. I mean, Revan had already betrayed the Jedi at the time when he was going around the star maps and stuff. So tell me about the history of the Infinite Empire. I think you told me already, but let's go there. At its peak, the Infinite Empire ruled over 500 planets and was comprised of 10 billion Rakata and over 1 trillion slaves scattered across the galaxy. But the glory of the Infinite Empire was built on war and slaughter. It was inevitable it should collapse upon itself. The conflict among power-hungry warlords escalated into full civil war. Worlds were ravaged and millions of lives were lost. Sensing the weakness of their oppressors, the slaves rebelled and overthrew their masters. And then came the plague. I don't think we have heard of this. I'm certain we haven't heard of this from him. This sounds very familiar. I will point out, though, that what he says, he was inevitable. He's saying more than... He could have said they were built on slaughter and war, and then they collapsed. But he's actually saying that he was inevitable, that not only drawing a line between because they were built on war and slaughter, they collapsed. Not only is he doing that, he's actually saying that it's impossible to build an empire that is built on war and slaughter that doesn't collapse. This is a computer made by Rakata. I think this might be just the writers saying their own thing. It wouldn't be really... It's not really... It's not really the... I don't think a computer built by the Rakatas would say something like that. Up until now, the computer has been mostly impartial, even. Not even biased towards the Rakata. No, actually, at the beginning, there was a little bit of, oh, the most ancient and amazing empire, and we did great, very, very good things, and very, very good things we did. So, yeah, that's very not just like broad, non-specific language that is typical of propaganda, which would make sense, but for the most part, he's actually being impartial. But this one is a little bit weird because it's just the writers shining through the dialogue and being like, hey, don't forget, these guys are jerks. Yep. What about the plague, though? We know what the plague is, don't we? Its origins were unknown, even though I just pointed them out earlier. Perhaps the creation of an enslaved species, perhaps a mutation of a natural virus. It killed only Rakata. Oh no, that's a different one. And it spread to every corner of the galaxy. I thought it was the thing that they lose the force, but it's not. I forgot about this one, yeah. The Infinite Empire crumbled into dust as the few Rakata survivors fled back here to their home world. All evidence of their existence was destroyed by the species they were enslaved. Or by the species they enslaved. Of course, not all evidence, because they still have star maps and a bunch of ruins. But even hidden here on their secret home world, they were not safe. Millions died from the deadly plague. Many more died after. The history of the Rakata ended 20,000 years ago. Now they are nothing but a few scattered tribes descended from the priests and warrior castes, still waging our never-ending civil war. They're still doing that. That's true. Yeah. Well, yeah. But that's that. That's all the things that we have from this computer. We have what we came here for. We know how to leave. We probably should go back outside and just, hey, I got your sort of genetic things. Can you guys... Yes, I've heard of this. Can you guys just sort of bioengineer your way out of being jerks? Because apparently this computer says you're jerks by nature and sort of on a biological level or whatever. I'm not really sure how this works. Do you guys even have DNA? Because I'm pretty sure aliens wouldn't have even DNA. Did I touch on that before? I don't know. DNA and RNA and... those are not even... I don't think DNA are even the most fundamental... No, I don't know, because they're made out of proteins, I think. DNA is. And RNA. So the proteins would be the fundamental, you know, particle of... I think there might be even smaller things or things that preceded the proteins. But at least on Earth... Is that the exit? Oh, no, wait. What? Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's... What? How do I go to the upper... Oh, that's the door right there. Okay, so we go around here. We go outside. Tell the guys that, hey, I got your thing. And then come back inside because we need to disable the thing. I want to do it... I want to help the elders first. Just in case I get locked out of the quest. But yeah, so even the proteins themselves wouldn't necessarily exist in alien planets for life to develop. At least we know it's possible for other life to exist with different things. Not necessarily that it exists. I don't know what happened, actually. Do we... What? Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh, can't go outside? Oh, this is terrible. Maybe we're gonna go outside. After this. Recently, we've discovered... signs of life on Mars. But the significance... While the significance is tremendous, of course, from a scientific perspective... In the sense that it is a confirmation of the theories that we had before and all that, but still, it is tremendous. The actual proof is relatively it's a thing. It's a sort of a molecule that's not that difficult to exist. It's like to the point where I know one biologist, as a friend of my sister, she's a biologist as well, and they're like, yeah, this doesn't surprise me too much. Like, I mean, you kind of knew this already. We didn't, but you know, there it is. But it's just, I guess, different perspectives within the scientific community on if she's actually any example of a broader perspective on it. It's just different perspectives on the significance, and not even the significance, because she doesn't say it's like a. It's not significant. It's just that it's not that surprising. I don't know. It's like finding all of a sudden that gravity exists. Being able to prove that gravity exists. And we're like, yay, this is very significant because we're going to be able to calculate things and all that. But everyone's going to be like, what? I'm oversimplifying it, of course. But yeah. Explain gravity. I don't know. How? What? I don't. What? Yeah. Who's... Oh, Bastila! Hey, guys! Bastila is alive! We had no idea! Bastila! And now a slow motion run. You idiots. Turn off your vibrators. What is this?
Revan, I knew you'd come for me. Malik thought you might be afraid to enter the temple again, but he doesn't know you like I do. Not anymore. Not since you've changed.
Quickly, Bastila, come with us. We have to escape before Malik arrives.
Escape?
She says with
you don't
her
understand.
lightsaber on.
I've sworn allegiance to Lord Malik and the Sith. I am no longer a pawn of the Jedi Council.
Oh, well, I was gonna mock that. What a surprise! But this is for me, for 18-year-old me, this was not a big surprise, but it was still. How do you call it when you see the thing coming but you don't? My point about them not knowing the Bastila is alive, is heartfelt. I felt the first time I played the game, and you know, not knowing the big major plot points, I felt really upset that Bastila got taken, or actually that Bastila disappeared. And I really thought at the time, I remember the first time, I remember thinking that she died. So it never sit well with me the way they treat the whole plot, because they don't acknowledge that she's probably dead. I mean, she was going up against Malik. I'm probably gonna die against Malik, and Bastila is nothing. Well, actually, she's better than me, but whatever. Maybe not now, I don't know. But the plot point of her turning here, it's oh my god, the first line is so... Oh my god, I just now read the first line. No, Bastila, don't go over to the dark side. It's not even 2 exclamation marks to sort of... I mean, I guess that would be even more ridiculous, to be honest. But it's like... A pawn of the Jedi Council, what are you talking about? Oh, that's interesting. What? A pawn of the... Oh, man. I'm gonna go with the first one, because that's so cheesy that I love it. I think over the course of the last 10 seconds I have grown to love that line, that first line. I'm gonna go with it. But I think this scene is not necessarily that well delivered. My idea of just, you know, slow motion Bastila running with your arms flailing, and it's like, I'm so happy you're alive. And then she's like, no, I have turned to the dark side. Don't you see the color of my lightsaber? And you're like, what? No, that would be a surprise. Oh man. Anyway, seriously, and they drew their lightsabers. And I didn't remember the name. That's why I said vibrators, because that's what they... Never mind. Yeah, I'll go with the first one.
You say that as if the dark side is some terrible entity. The Jedi Council has brainwashed you like all the others, like they once did with me. They speak of the dark side as if it is something to be feared, but in reality their only goal is to manipulate those who are strong in the Force. The fear of the dark side is a tool to maintain control. Why do you think the Jedi forbid you and Malik from joining the Mandalorian Wars? They knew you would realize your true potential and break free of their domination. Malik has shown me how the Jedi Council have been using me the same way they once tried to use you. They've been holding me back because they knew one day I would surpass them all.
I wonder what Dark Souls, what KotOR 2 does with the dark side, because this is quite clearly her advocating for sort of a middle ground between the light side and the dark side. Because what she's pointing out is the same critiques that you can point, and you should point out to the dark side as well. She's not wrong, but I wonder. I mean, you can say, okay, let's just do a little bit of brainwashing from this side and a little bit of brainwashing from the other. You need to saying that the center, sort of the gray area, is a point between the two, is like, because it is reducing the significance of you realizing all the crap that both the light side and the dark side do, because you're just sort of acknowledging that they're both wrong and right in different ways. But that's not what you should do, I would think. It would be just to rise above. So you need a color above gray, in the sense that you're done with their crap, basically, and just sort of light side, they're basically, what she's saying is true, I think. She's not actually criticizing the philosophy of light side, and I had critiques about that as well. I've done them in good time when we got explained that. I'm not gonna go over them again, also because I don't have the presence of mind in regards to what exactly it was that I criticized. But the dark side I've also criticized in good time as well, so I think I've gone over those. My point is, from a political perspective, which is what she's doing here about the brainwashing and about the not wanting me to go to the Mandalorian War and all that, because that's very much the sort of the political games that the Jedi do. I think weren't the sequels... Sorry, the prequels, like the episode 1, 2, and 3, I hear, because I never watched them, as I said before. I should one of these days. Weren't they more precisely showing that the Jedi are this sort of politically aware? Because the dark side is just not politically aware. It's sort of, well, they're still playing politics, of course. I mean, we saw all the bullcrap in the Academy. But it's just in a much more childish and much more animalistic way of this sort of, I'm gonna push you down, or I'm gonna chaos is a ladder or something, sort of like stuff like that, which doesn't paint the whole picture, of course, but it's still very interesting in the sense that they're both motivated by hidden things. When it's not just the rule of the fittest, because otherwise you just go around killing everyone. It's a lot more than that. It's like, right? Because if you're gonna be the Dark Master, you're gonna... Oh, can you even lift, bro? Oh, no. Lightsaber to the face. And there it is. But no, that's not what the dark side does, for reasons. But yeah, so let's see. First one, most likely, because dark side, and let's see what these are. No, I don't believe it. Oh, man, that's... I like the cheese there. How could you betray us like this, Bastila? It's not too late, Bastila. You can still turn away from the dark side. I didn't take long to convert you, did it? I always knew you were weak. Oh no, I think actually that goes against what I told her before about the way she was having doubts and all this sort of stuff. It's just mean saying that, but it's not necessarily untrue. But I am torn, actually, going with the first or going with the middle, because you can, of course, you can turn her. That's not a spoiler for anyone, is it? You can turn her back, and I guess I want to. I want to do that. I'm sure we're gonna have to battle her. This is Bioware, after all. We're gonna have to fight her, and then when she's almost dead, she's gonna say, "Oh, should be prefer," and I'm gonna be like, "Yes, now that I have beaten you into submission, you shall stand by my side as I kill your." Capture and things, and yes, that's definitely don't read it too much into that, because otherwise we are not gonna get out of here for days. Yeah, let's go with that. It's not too late, Bastila. You could still turn away from the dark side. My acting skills are amazing, aren't they?
I resisted at first. I endured the Sith torments with the passionless serenity of a true Jedi, emptying my mind.
It wasn't
but
torments.
After a week of endless tortures,
It's not
I
torture.
finally saw the truth. Malak forced me to acknowledge my anger and pain. He showed me the liberating power of these emotions. Then he made me see how the Jedi Council has denied me what is mine by right. The Jedi Council gladly used my battle meditation in their wars, but they still treated me like a child, like an inferior. They were jealous of my power, of what I could become. They wanted me to bow and call them master and follow their code and obey their every order. But all the while they were exploiting my battle meditation for their own use.
Kind of edging towards a very, very different subject here all of a sudden, which is the notion of individualism against... What's the opposite, actually? Or not the opposite, what's the, I guess, concurrent? Individualism, people often think that individualism is selfishness, but that's not the case. It's not true. While there are many ways where individualism can come from selfishness, it doesn't actually require selfishness. So if you think of yourself as an individualist, don't necessarily assume that you are just by definition selfish. You might be, but please don't, because that's kind of a jerky thing. But you could also argue against the individualism if you want to, but in the sense that individuals work alone, I think the Jedi don't really agree with that, where the dark side is much more leaning towards that. So yeah, I guess so she's kind of touching on that, which is interesting. She's not going too deep though. Because all she's saying is just, you were mean, and you made me bathe every Friday. I hated it. I don't like water. Meh. Or something like that. Okay, well, we're not getting a middle ground now, do we? Don't be lured in by the dark side. No, wait, what? By these lies, Bastila?
Lies? You were the one living a lie, Revan. The Jedi Council made you into something you are not. They programmed you to be their slave. You used to be Revan, Master of the Sith. But no longer. You were simply a pawn of the Jedi Council in the Republic they serve. Like I was. Until Malak freed me from their shackles. A pity the power you once had is so diluted in you.
Oh, it's not.
It's
thick. It's thick.
Stronger even. But
It's
that will
stronger.
never happen
It's
now.
strong and
With
thick.
the power of the Starforge, Malak will destroy the Republic and conquer the galaxy. And I will be the apprentice at his side, after I prove my worth by killing you.
Yeah. No. Anyway, we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm KotOR RPG, and this has been Bastila. And you can guess you can guess what's gonna happen next. But for right now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time, and don't forget to like if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. Again, thank you so much. I'll see you next episode. Bye.